Well, I think that news organisations around the world have realised that a lot of traffic these days is being driven by social media. So you see that there's obviously millions and millions of people around the world who have Facebook accounts and spend amazing amounts of time, ridiculous amounts of time on Facebook. And so increasingly, I guess, news organisations noticed that people would post links to news items that they were interested in, and they would of course be shared, and that was how we were really starting to see traction with news stories. So there's been some interesting studies done that shows that what's on the homepage, traditionally it was thought that what was on the homepage of the websites was what really drove traffic, and it was crucial in terms of the placement of stories on the homepage. So for example, we have what's called the DEFCON, which is the name for a really big image on a breaking news story, and it was thought that that would garner the most amount of hits because it was in that main image spot. But now increasingly we're realising that social media is also driving traffic, and you'll see that news organisations are placing less focus on the homepage and more on social media. And so it's quite common, not just for news organisations like The Age and the Sydney Morning Herald to have their own Facebook pages, if you like, but also for individual journalists or topic editors to also have their own Facebook pages. So it's definitely an area in the media that's really expanding. Definitely. I mean, I remember when I started in journalism 20 years ago, the concern was always that young people didn't read newspapers. And I think what's interesting now is that there's no concern that young people aren't accessing the media or aren't accessing stories. Sure, they don't read newspapers, but they are very much interested in sharing the stories and the issues that interest them on social media. So I think in many ways it's opened the news up to a new market, if you like, and it definitely does reach. So historically, I guess you had the people that were their dyed-in-the-wool newspaper readers, but now more and more people are being exposed to news through social media. So I would say it's definitely reaching a broader audience. Yeah, definitely. So for example, the Fairfax media, The Age and the Sydney Morning Herald now have social media editors, and they have been terrific. They've really helped me in terms of teaching us how to write catchy introductions that help grab people. So we're not talking about clickbait, but it's obviously a real art to kind of try and sum up in a line or two what it is that makes your story worth reading. And I guess that's becoming an important part of the newsroom, having experts to teach us how to do that, to teach us how to really... I, for example, have my own Facebook page, so I've created a dual Topsfield Fairfax Indonesia Correspondent page, and they've been very useful helping me drive traffic to that page and increase the number of people that like the page. So yeah, I think definitely there'll be a lot of attention focused on social media, and you can see, I mean, Apple on the latest iPhone has its new news aggregator. Facebook, you'll notice now, has trending topics. If you type an issue in the search button, and often a lot of news stories will come up. So I think that Facebook is also becoming more interested in the news space as well.